Hello all my crafty friends. Today I am going to decorate a frame. So I picked up this frame ages ago for $1. I don't even know where I've got it, but it's an MDF frame and it measures 13 centimeters from left to right and 17 centimeters from top to bottom. The photo will actually accommodate a 9 centimeter across by 13 centimeters depth. So it is just an MDF frame, so I am going to decorate this and see how I go. I am going to put a photo of my new grandchild in there, Maya Ray. I thought I might put her name on. I'm going to do some stenciling and I might even put some flowers on as well. But first of all, what I'll do is I'm just going to use some gesso just to paint all over it. So the gesso that I'm going to be using is just a Montmartre gesso and in white, and it is just I would say a medium sort of fluidity in gesso, and this is my go-to product that I use all the time. I've got it in black and white, and I find that it does cover very well, although with this I do give the frame 2 coats all up. Now I've got this ABC soup by Memory Box die, and I'm going to cut out enough letters that spells out Maya Ray's name. I'm going to also glue 3 lots of letters together, so all the A's together, all the E's, all the R's and so forth. This will give it some dimension on the frame when I glue all this together. So I'm just making sure that I've got all her letters and her name all cut out, and then I'll glue them all together. Now while I've got the letters drying, I'm just going to cut out my flowers. So I've got various flowers here, and I'm going to cut them out of pinks, golds and purple cardstock. So these are from AliExpress, and they're 3 different sized flowers that I'm going to use. Now I'm cutting out quite a few flowers because I will have these layered on the front of my frame.
just going to add a bit of colour to the edges of my flowers. So I've got my Distress Oxide inks here, and I got these brushes from AliExpress, and I think they were in the makeup department, and I find that they're really good just to put a little bit of colour just on the edge of the flowers. Now I am going to glue these flowers together so they look layered, but before I do, I've got my bone folder here, and I'm just going to manipulate the edge of the flowers. This will actually just weaken the fibres in the paper. Now to layering, I'm just using some matte medium here in I think it was by Little Birdie actually. I discovered this not long ago, and it's super strong glue. So I'm just going to layer all of these up together, and I'll just pop them aside so they all actually dry completely before putting them onto my frame. Flowers are drying. I've got this stencil here, and I'm going to use some Liquitex modelling paste to apply through this stencil. Now this rubber brush is by Finnabar, and I just got it not long ago, and it's absolutely fantastic. I just really love it when I'm applying modelling paste through a stencil. It just goes on really nice and easy, and a bit like a squeegee, I guess. So I'll let that completely dry, and now it's all dry, I'm going to use shades of pink. Now this pink acrylic paint is by Kaiser Craft, and I'm just going to apply that all over my frame here. Now I did end up giving this 2 coats, but my second coat I actually added a bit of white because I think it was too dusty pink, so it's a little bit on the lighter side. Now I've got some Deco Art metallic paint here, and I've got a sponge dauber And I'm just going to go round the edges of my frame and on the inside as well, and just make sure that it does sort of bleed through to the front of the frame, which should finish this off nicely. Give a shine to my letters here, and I'm just going to stick them on the back of some masking tape here just so they stick down and I can work with them. I've got my homemade embossing buddy, and I'm just going to run over that just to remove the stick of the masking tape. Now I did thought that I was going to use some black metallic paint, but then I changed my mind and I wanted to use embossing powder. So I've got my Versamark ink pad here, which I thought I was going to use. So I'm just checking my black embossing powder, which one I'm going to use. So I did start using the embossing ink pad, but then I thought my embossing ink pen would probably be a little bit better. So I'm just going over that with the embossing ink pen, and then I will apply my powder. Now because these letters are raised, I'm not getting that much embossing powder on the masking tape here. So it's just making it a little bit easier just to handle. So I'm just going to dry that off, and they turned out really well actually. So when you're working with small intricate dies like this that you can't actually emboss with, it does make it easier to stick them down on something like masking tape to work with. Put this frame all together now, and I've decided to do my letters first down the bottom here. Now I'm just putting them in the order of my array's name, and what I've decided to do, I'm just going to use the masking tape again. So I've just got a clean piece of masking tape, and just to better show you what I'm doing, I've just got my green board here, and I'm just lining them up on the line here, just so it's going to be straight. So once I'm happy with it, then I can put the masking tape down, and this will pick up the letters. This will make sure that her name is nice and straight. When you do pick up the masking tape, then it's easier to handle. As you see, I've got it stuck to my ruler as well, and I can just go in now just with my glue and just glue that into place so it'll be nice and straight. So just while the name is drying, I'm just going to work on my flowers, and I'm going to have a mix of colour. So I'm just having a look at placement at the moment just to see where I want them placed. Now with my flowers, some of them will be glued straight down onto the frame, and I will have 2 or 3 propped up with some foam dots on the back. So this will also give it some good dimension as well. I also want my flowers to be hanging off the frame, so on the inside of the frame and on the outside of the frame. use some Nouveau embellishment mousse to enhance my script here, just to give it a little bit more depth as well, because I thought that the script was lost in the background here. So this really enhances the script, and I think it just finishes it off nicely. Now I've got some Nouveau drops here, and I've got various shades the same as my flowers, and I'm just going to add the middle part of the flower with my Nouveau drops here. I'll set this aside then so it'll have a chance to dry completely. And that's the frame finished for today. I think it turned out really well, and I did add some butterflies to it at last minute. So the picture that I've popped in there, I think complements the flower colours that I actually used. So I hope you have enjoyed this project for today. If you have, please give me your thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting. See ya!